Hello ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. One of my neighbors had left a couple of pallets out and told me that I could have them, and I thought, ooh, pallet wood, I could do something with that. Unfortunately, the pallets have been outside for quite some time and the wood is pretty stained. I tried sanding one piece down and I couldn't get but so much out of it. Might could do better if I had a planer and an edger, but I don't yet. So there's not a whole lot I'm comfortable doing with the wood. However, a thought did occur to me, as I have recently picked up a Dado blade set that comes in this, I want to say flimsy box, but it's not the best box in the world. And I thought it would be nice to I could use this pallet wood to make just a little small box or platform with a dowel rod in the middle that I could stack the blades on and move them around and store them more securely than in this flimsy little box. So that's my project for today. I'm going to trim these pieces that I have that I cut out of the center of a pallet and glue them together and try to make a little tray or something that I can carry my dado blades around in. I'm just going to start by trimming the edges off to try to make them nice and flat. For whatever reason, I didn't record gluing these three boards together for the base. Instead, I recorded after I glued them together. Now to cut the edges square. I'm going to use a fence here. I'm going to trim this edge off and then trim two more pieces to put on the side. These dado blades are made for a 5/8 inch arbor, so I have a 5/8 inch dowel rod. I'm going to drill a 5/8 inch hole and put this in there so that I can just line up all the dado blades and stack them. I've measured and found the center point of the board. And the only 5/8 inch drill bit that I have is one of these Foster bits, so it'll have to do. It won't make the cleanest exit, but we'll manage. Figured I'd sand it a little bit, maybe give the glue a cleaner chance. I got a piece of scrap wood that I had for making boxes and drilled a 5/8 inch hole in it so that when I put the blades in there they won't lay flat. It'll be easier for me to get under the bottom and pick it up. Give it a little weight. I'm going to use my nifty table saw sled to trim one edge of these two boards so that they're square. Now I've got two of the sides on here. I need to cut the others to length, so I'm basically just going to use this as a guide set it against the blade, slide the fence over loosely against it, and then I have the length that I need to cut the other two boards. We've got the box over there with all the sides drying. I want to make a lid to sit on top of it. I've got 3 more slats from the pallet. I'm going to use it to cut a section off of the end of all these and then put that in flat against here and trim another end flat and then trim off the other side. And now that this is dry, trim it on up. I'm going to cut a couple of strips of wood out here to put up under the lid to kind of hold it in place when I set it on there rather than do hinges. Put a little glue on one side of these sticks. I really don't expect it to stay very well. The idea is the glue holds them down well enough that I can maybe throw a couple of screws, well, yeah, screws in each corner, and that'll keep the lid from just sliding off. So I've got the lid here with a couple of pieces glued on. I'm not sure they're glued on that well, I don't care. Just as long as they stay still long enough for me to drill holes in each corners and throw some screws in. Nice little wooden box for my Dado blades. Is it pretty? No, not really. Did it turn out quite as well as I hoped? No. It'll do the job. I can stack the blades in there and put them on the shelf, maybe even place some things on top of them, and they'll be protected. So it's going to do the job. I'm not dissatisfied with it. Could I have done better? Certainly. It's not very pretty. It's not the most even cut. The pallet wood that I used was quite weathered, and I really wasn't going to use it for anything. And then I thought I really wished I had a box for these blades rather than the flimsy cardboard one that's in. And so I just threw it together. I could possibly have milled these boards down and made them look nicer. I do not have a jointer or a planer. If I at least had a planer, I could have mowed and flattened them and shaved off some of the bad, you know, I could have flattened them out and made them look better. But I don't have one, and I hope to get one someday. I'm saving up, but for the time being, what am I out? I paid maybe $2 for a dowel rod to put in the center. The rest of it is complete scrap wood that I picked up from the neighborhood. And now I have something utilitarian, something that will hold them. There's other ways that I could have done this. I could have made a tall, narrow box with slats in it and put each blade in there separately. Certainly would be advantages to that. I could just get out the blades that I want. I may do that down the road. But I was kind of looking for something to warm myself back up and blow the sawdust off the table saw and get to working again. And I'm about to start a project using the Dado blades, and I thought, you know what, while I'm at this, I'm going to make a little box for them. If you have questions, comments, feel free to leave them below. I thank you for watching. This is just another one of my little learning experiences. So thank you for watching, and stay creative.